Good evening this day, and thank you for joining me this evening, my live broadcast on this Sunday, 8th of March 2020. 2020 as the awareness for Nigeria disintegration and Biafra freedom continues. Thank you for joining me. I am going to start where I stopped last time. Okeke Chinedu Bright, thank you for joining me. Obina Enwere, thank you for joining me this evening. Abiodu Mobi, thank you for joining me. My own William Aja, I see you, thank you for joining me. Skylar, thank you for joining me. Akon G. Starman, thank you for joining me. Majas Chinedu, thank you for joining me. Mike, thank you for joining me. Chimezie Jacob, thank you for joining me. Stanley Alex Amy, thank you for joining me. We are intensifying this awareness. Obichi, thank you for joining me. John Cash, thank you for joining me. Edwin, thank you for joining me. Chijoke Iwe Obika, thank you for joining me this evening. Obago, thank you for joining me. I am going to start immediately. Ambas Kinsley, thank you for joining me. Immediately, we have 600 viewers. We start immediately. Franklin Chizoba, thank you for joining me. Thank you. I see you. Aja, Andrew Obona, thank you. Matthias Loveday, thank you for joining me. Afam, thank you for joining me. Daniel, thank you for joining me. Kudos to you as well. John Israel, thank you for joining me. Stainless God's Time, thank you for joining me. Today I am going to continue from where I stopped last time. Nnaji, thank you for joining me. Chidi Samuel, thank you for joining me. Ezeribe, thank you for joining me. Mason Matthew, thank you for joining me. Mark Ben, thank you for joining me. My own Mark Ben. Chijoke, thank you for joining me. Stainless God's Time. Chooks Elvis, thank you for joining me. Victor Ikenna, thank you for joining me. We are waiting for 600 and we'll start. Enyinaya Stanley, Tony Odogu, thank you for joining me. Ike Jesus, thank you for joining me this evening. Oshonik Kadi, thank you for joining me. Florence Awolabi, thank you for joining me. Biafra Land, thank you for joining me this evening. Chukwu Emeka Kinsley, thank you for joining me. Emeka, thank you for joining me. Ejike Padola, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Prince Christopher, for joining me this evening. Ezebube Chidi, thank you for joining me. Solomon Arinze, thank you for joining me this evening. Christopher Ifeanyi, we are already over 600. Ike David, thank you for joining me. Chimezie Jacob, thank you for joining me. Ajina Chinedu Jonathan, thank you. Emekus, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Emmanuel Joseph. Thank you, Valentine Ekene, for joining me. We have already Dripoto, thank you for joining me. Wambo Batromi, thank you for joining me. This is already over 600 viewers, and we have to start. If you did not recognize your name today or call your name today, I'm going to still refer back to the people that I didn't call their name. My own David Omi, thank you for joining me this evening. Victor Akoma, thank you for joining me. Thank you for Peter Felix for joining me. Thank you, AGK04, for joining me this evening. Now we have to start. Yakus Ikoha, one for Godfrey. Thank you for joining me this evening, Manuel. Thank you for joining me this evening. I am going to start where I stopped last time on this sensitization program about where and who are Biafran and from the old or from the eastern region of Nigeria. This evening also, before I start, let me quickly say something. Most of you don't know, or most of you probably know, but maybe you have forgotten. Let me quickly say something. Now, Boko Haram, according to the story, are threatening to attack IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. And a lot of you, this should be an issue of concern. This should be an eye-opening to a lot of you, because you should be asking yourself, why would Boko Haram want to attack IPOB members? Why would Boko Haram want to attack IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra? There is only one reason. As you know, the indigenous people of Biafra are not security outfits. The indigenous people of Biafra are not security agents. The indigenous people of Biafra are not country. The indigenous people of Biafra are Biafrans who are fed up of the terrorist Nigeria, and they want freedom. They want independent country, and they want to exit from Nigeria that is being controlled by terrorist group like Boko Haram, Herdsmen, Fulani Herdsmen, Mayete Allah terrorist group, as you see it today. So, one reason why Boko Haram is interested in threatening IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, is because the IPOB have exposed everything about their dealings with Nigeria government. IPOB have exposed Nigeria government to the world, and that thing is eating Boko Haram up. IPOB has exposed how Boko Haram is being recruited in Nigeria army today. IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, has exposed Nigeria government to the world. And today, Nigeria government is naked in international community. And Boko Haram is not happy. Because an attack on Nigeria government is an attack on Boko Haram. And an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on Nigeria government. Do you see the relationship? Do you see the relationship? Whether the threat against IPOB is real or fake. But we believe, let us even believe that the threat is real and it is coming from Boko Haram. But you should ask yourself, what is the business of IPOB fighting for their own freedom from the terrorists and the terrorists threatening them? There is no any other reason. Only reason is that the generals in Nigeria army knows that they have lost it. The Nigeria general in Nigeria army who are members of Boko Haram, who are giving information to Boko Haram, knows that they can't do anything any longer. The issue is now the issue of Biafra agitation, the issue of IPOB has gone global. So the next thing they will do is to go and meet Boko Haram to start issuing threats. Let them come and attack IPOB. And the world is watching. Because by the time we will be pushed to the wall, which we are already pushed to the wall, everybody will be alive to witness it. Let us see how, of course, their members are already in Biafra land. We all know. By Hope Uzodinma, who is sponsoring, who they have used now to have the impetus to come and start threatening indigenous people of Biafra from the north. Because they feel that they have Hope Uzodinma in Imo State. And we told Hope Uzodinma, if you think that you have been implanted in Imo State to bring disunity, to bring war, and to bring crisis, uprising in Biafra land, we will make Imo State ungovernable for the time being that Nigeria or Imo State will continue to be under Nigeria government. Imo State will be ungovernable for you. Any child that says that his mother will not sleep should be ready to stay awake. And that is what we will do to you, Hope Uzodinma. This is the beginning. Biafrans will not fold their hands and see you bringing Emirates to Biafra land. We will not sit and see you bringing Emirates. And you see what they did to you today? What they did to you today is justifiable, legitimate. It is part of politics and part of democracy. Demonstration is part of democracy. And you will be seeing that kind of demonstration so long as Biafra is concerned, and so long as you are being forced on Biafra people by the caliphate, and so long as you continue to do the bidding of this Fulani terrorist, Imo State will be hot for you to govern. That is for Hope Uzodinma. If you think that you can come to Biafra land and allow Fulanis and you breach the customary law of Igbo land, which should be above Nigeria Constitution, the customary law, which this Sharia law you see today in the north, they respect Sharia law in the north more than the Nigeria Constitution. And in Igbo land, we have what we call customary law. But because of all of you who are playing politics, most of you don't know nothing about the customary law of Igbo land. Only when it comes to property right, you will begin to claim that women don't have right to property. That is the only precedence they have in Supreme Court of Nigeria when it comes to property right. Right to property, women right to property. But you abandoned what constitutes the customary law of Igbo land, whether it is written or unwritten law. We have what we call the customary law. Bringing Emirates to Biafra land is what we call taboo under the customary law of Igbo land. So if in actual sense you should be banished, you should be banished from Igbo land, because by recognizing these Marandos, that's these criminals and terrorist organization and caliphate, bring for the first time in Biafra land, you should be banished. And that is the way the customary law of Igbo land operates. You can't come from the back door through impunity and you rebelled against your people. You want to become the Afonja. Have you not read the history of Ndibo? You think that because everybody, we are being civil and we are showing civilization and we don't want to start hostility, you think that anybody have the monopoly of violence and hostility? You don't know the history of Igbos? You don't know the history of Biafrans? You don't know that we don't take nonsense, and anything we start, we will do it to the best. Even we will do it more than the people that bring it. You think that this hostility that you are inviting today in Imo State, through the help of the Fulanis, that if we toe that line and that part of hostility, you think that Fulani herdsmen carry AK-47 will do? Don't you know what Igbos can do? You don't know. You don't know what Igbo people can do. Don't retract and take back your step on the emirate you want to institute in Imo State, and see how your governorship will end up. This is something that message we are every Biafran is sending to you directly in Imo State. This governorship in Imo State, it will be very ungovernable. Your seat will be hot until you repent. And if you have instituted anything emirate in Imo State, you have to abolish it. If you don't abolish it, the Imo State will be ungovernable for you. It will be ungovernable for you. It is better you go and sit on fire, because the seat of Imo State governor will be hot for you. We can't allow that in Igbo land. That is the message I have for Hope Uzodinma this evening. Now, I want to tell you also, before I continue the history of Biafra, because it is very important that a lot of people from the so-called South know exactly where they come from. So now, before I continue, you all remembered somebody called Kabiru Sokoto. Kabiru Sokoto, the Boko Haram member. Kabiru Sokoto, Boko Haram member, who was responsible for bombing, for the Christmas church bombing in Nigeria, was arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. And as I am talking to you today, do you know that when 82 persons, these Chibok girls that were released, they swapped 5 Boko Haram commanders, this Buhari and his terrorist government swapped these 5 Boko Haram commanders. Are you people aware that this Kabiru Sokoto, as I am talking to you today, is in Sambisa Forest? Kabiru Sokoto, who was sentenced to life imprisonment, were swapped. And it was all arrangement. In addition to other four high-ranked Boko Haram commanders, Kabiru Sokoto, who is supposed to be in prison, life imprisonment, bombing of church in Nigeria, is now in Sambisa Forest. And as I am talking to you, this Kabiru Sokoto is one of the commander of Boko Haram. Some people will say he's in prison. Let them show the proof of Kabiru Sokoto in prison today. Because as I'm talking to you, he is part of the upsurge of Boko Haram today in Sambisa Forest. And you will be wondering, let them show the prison, the prison warders where this man is staying. If you are serving as a prison warder, where Kabiru Sokoto is serving his life imprisonment, come publicly and say it, because he is no more in prison. They have swapped him, and now he has joined Sheku and the upsurge of Boko Haram, masterminding all the attack against military through their insider and through all other military men who have sworn an oath of allegiance to Boko Haram. And today, they will come, the Nigeria government have told them to go and threaten Ekpa, thinking that if they threaten Ekpa will abandon Biafra. You people don't know how we are prepared. It is better for Nigeria and this world to cease to exist than we allowing you in the terrorists in Nigeria and to continue to suppress Biafrans and continue to force Biafrans by hostility and violence and terrorism and intimidate Biafrans, thinking that through this intimidation, everybody who shout Biafra will abandon Biafra. You don't know the thing that lives inside us is what we call Biafra spirit. And what is holding Nigeria today, why Nigeria will continue to go down, is the blood. Over 3 million blood of Biafrans killed in cold blood. That spirit of Biafrans who were killed, murdered. Some people were raped to death. Some people were killed by hunger. The spirit will hold Nigeria till the end, until nothing is left in Nigeria. And it is happening. If you think that it is only just we are shouting and going all over the world preaching the gospel of Biafra, is what you are living in full paradise. It is more than what you know. It is more than what you are thinking. Biafra is what is more than what you are thinking. The spirit of the Biafrans you killed will hurt Nigeria, will continue to break Nigeria down and break the foundation of Nigeria into pieces. Now let me start. Today I will be starting from a city called Iguruta. Iguruta, like I have always said, when I start, I will first of all apologize in case I am pronouncing these cities, villages, and names of people wrongly. You don't expect me to pronounce it the way you pronounce it in your villages. But at least, when I say the names, you know already where and whom I am talking about. I will start from a city in Biafra land in eastern region of Nigeria called Iguruta. If you are in Iguruta, you are a Biafran. Iguruta is a town in Ikwere in Rivers State, Nigeria. It is located near Omagwa, a community hosting the Port Harcourt International Airport. Its geographic coordinates are about 4,000 to the north, and schools found around this area include Brookstone Schools Secondary School, Charles Dele Memorial International School. If you are in this place, know it today, you are a Biafran. You are a Biafran. And another issue I would like to address also is when I was reading some news, because like you all know, a lot of people, Fulanis and this terrorist group, they are invading social media, creating fake accounts. Even my own account has been created, the fake one has been created, and they have been sending messages to people. Ignore any page that is not this one now that you are watching my live broadcast. Any page at all, ignore them. This is my official page and no any other page, only this one. Now, I want to address, because this is very important, for those who may have been misled or who this kind of post may have affected somehow. Let me address this issue. One of the Fulanis called Omar Mohammed Nasiru wrote, and of course some media are sharing and posting it. He wrote and he started castigating the indigenous people of Biafra, the IPOB. He started castigating them. He started castigating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and all that. But I will not go into detail explaining what he wrote and all that, because it is important. The enemies of Biafra, when they see this kind of post, they will start to share it. And of course, in some cases, we cannot overlook them without addressing them and trashing them. Because those who are not deep in reasoning will easily be deceived, especially the people from the south of Biafra. The Biafra side called South-South. So, because these are the targets. In Igbo-speaking Biafra, nobody, everybody, 100% of people from Igbo-speaking Biafra stand for Biafra. The majority percentage of people from the south of the Biafra also stand for Biafra. Now we need at least another 30% to make it 80. So this 30% now that some people are, are deceiving. The Fulanis are deceiving and deceiving. They will write this kind of things and then most of them will not think. So I want to address what this man called Omar wrote. He said, to show you how daft the IPOB leadership is and how gullible its followers are, may I ask these following questions. These following questions do not need even the IPOB leadership or any Biafra agitation group leadership to answer. I will address it here and right now. And if you know anybody who have told the line of this argument of this Fulani terrorist person, tag him to this post so that most of the issue has been addressed. Even yesterday by Nnamdi Kanu. But let me read the number one question. He said, what is the character of Biafra country you seek? Will Biafra be a republic or a monarchy or a theocracy or a military dictatorship? You don't know and you don't care to know. This is a Fulani man writing. At least he called himself probably a Fulani man. Chukwu Abiyama will figure that out later. Maybe Biafra shall be a monarchy because Nnamdi Kanu already described himself as a prince waiting for the throne. Or maybe it will a theocracy because Nnamdi also described himself as a prophet and fools worship him. You see, the issue raised here, first of all, Nnamdi Kanu, whether you like it or not, has become the biggest leader of Biafra referendum and Biafra republic and Biafra freedom alive. And whether you are an IPOB member or whether you are Mossad member or whether you are BZM member, any group you belong to, Nnamdi Kanu has become one of the biggest leader of Biafra agitation alive. And Nnamdi Kanu is not interested in becoming whatever prince of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu is not interested in becoming the president or whatever of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu is a tool and a staff of Biafra. If you know what staff is, if you don't know what staff is, you go and ask Igbo people, you go and ask Biafra people that is close to you, what is staff? Nnamdi Kanu also is not fighting for Igbos. Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for Biafra freedom. So that Biafra will be free from you, this Omar. So that Biafra will be free from this man who is in Aso Rock. So that Biafra will be free from Boko Haram. So that Biafrans will be free from Meyete Allah. So that Biafrans will be free from herdsmen who now have meetings with the presidency of Nigeria and claiming that Nigeria belongs to them. This is what Nnamdi Kanu stands for. And to answer the question on whether Biafra will be a republic or a monarchy, first of all, you should go and read history. In Biafra, Democracy started in Biafra. Democracy. If democracy started in Biafra, would you say that democracy or Biafra is going to be a monarch? We are going to have Republic of Biafra. And if the Republic of Biafra is not enough for people, because Biafra is going to be a democracy, it is the will of Biafra people that will be final. The Republic of Biafra. You do not go to the hunt, to go to the forest and start hunting. And what you'll be doing is how to roast your rats when you hunt rats. Or how to roast your elephant. That you are going to hunt elephant and you are already killing yourself and fighting who is going to have the head of elephant, who is going to have the leg of elephant, when you have not hunted any elephant. That is not what Biafrans are known for. And those of you who will claim that Biafra is not united, Biafra is not united, Igbo this, Igbo that, Igbo is not united, Igbo is not Biafra. Igbo is part of Biafra. And Biafrans are united. If you think that Biafrans are not united, and you are a Biafran, come and join Biafra agitation and you see how we will shower love on you. Come and join Biafra agitation today. Join Biafra agitation and say you are now fighting for Biafra. We will shower love, unconditional love on you. And that is Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB activities today have united Biafrans like never before. If you think that Biafra are not united, give it a trial. As a person from Ijo, shout, I am now fighting for Biafra. We will shower you with love. Because Nigeria has compelled you to be what you are today, and you think that Biafrans are not united. It is Nigeria that are dividing you. Biafrans are the most united people in Africa. If you doubt me, if you doubt what I'm saying now, don't even believe in Biafra for you to give it a trial. If you have not begun to support Biafra agitation, come out and support Biafra agitation and see whether we will not shower you with unconditional love. Unconditional love. We will show you love. And that is a sign that when Biafra will be actualized, love will reign in Biafra. Unity will reign in Biafra. Because it is going to be the biggest movement in human history. All the people, all Biafrans, millions of Biafrans across the world will go back to Biafra land to develop Biafra. And you will see love. You see today, a lot of people cannot travel to Nigeria because of wickedness of Nigeria, because of wickedness of people in villages, and you cannot totally blame them. You will blame the Nigeria government controlled by Fulani that have instituted this systematic way of dividing Biafrans and compel them to be what they are today. And as you begin to see the Biafra coming, these things will change automatically in you. It is automatic. Your mentality will change. Your brains will be set to default. You change immediately. So if you think that Biafrans are not united, if you think that Biafrans don't love themselves, come and start supporting agitation for Biafra, and you see the love that you have not seen before. It is I am calling you who are yet contemplating, why should I support Biafra? Biafra are not united. Come and support agitation for Biafra and see the unity that will shock you. The two questions this guy posed is, he also said whether it is going to be military dictator, whether Biafra is going to be military dictator. Biafra is not going to be military dictator, like I have said. One thing I have explained answer even all your questions. First of all, democracy started in Biafra. So if democracy started in Biafra, What you are practicing in Nigeria today is not even close to democracy. It is not even autocracy. It is devolocracy. Devolocracy. Devolocracy, the government of devil, by the devil, and of the devil. In fact, even devil is better than Nigeria. You know what is devolocracy? It is my own word. Devolocracy is where you, if you are a Christian, but of course, most of you that are terrorists don't know the history of what we call the hellfire. Hellfire is devolocracy. So when you enter, for those who knows how hellfire, what you read about in the Bible about hellfire, if you are a Nigerian, what you practice in Nigeria is devolocracy, the government of devil, by the devil, and of the devil. It is not for the people. There is nothing like democracy in Nigeria. If you have democracy in Nigeria, will you be having all this kind of people you have that are controlling the economy of Nigeria that doesn't even merit it? They take Constitution of Nigeria and throw it aside. And somebody is advocating for Sharia law in a secular state. And when you have election, somebody will go to hotel and write this thing and bring it to court and invite police. Meanwhile, the INEC, which is the electoral commission, will not be there to witness what they supervised as election. INEC official will not be invited to the court. When INEC come to say these votes are invalid, you go and bring police who are supposed to these are the constitution, according to them. You bring police who have nothing to do with electoral material other than securing it so that people will not steal it. Or that trying to maintain peace and order. You go and bring a police. But the people who are organizing the election, you kick them out. You did not invite them to come and witness whether this is a legitimate vote or not a legitimate vote. And you call it, is that democracy? You stay in a hotel room and write. So it is devolocracy. Government of the devils, by the devils, and of the devil. Because those who are supporting one Nigeria are all the agents of devils. And that is why you see Nigeria can never work. And it is the reason we are opting out from Nigeria. And we are going out. You will see it happen. We will destroy Nigeria. We will make rubbish Nigeria. The foundation of Nigeria has been broken into pieces, like we all know. Nothing is left in the foundation. And we will make sure that Nigeria is down. Now, let me continue. The number 2, he said, why do you speak restoration of Biafra instead of actualization of Biafra? Of course. The reason is because Uwazirike and his Mossab have used actualization and you want to sound different. How childish. You see it? They are now bringing Uwazirike and Mossab. That because Uwazirike have used actualization of Biafra, so IPOB cannot use actualization of Biafra, they are using restoration. If you are an English person who went to school, you will know the difference between restoration and actualization. First of all, we already have Biafra for 3 years. Biafra was a country, independent country, and fought war. Did you see that? Biafra was actualized in the 60s. We already actualized Biafra. And then after the war, it was declared no victor, no vanquish. And now, after over 50 years of declaring no victor, no vanquish, the war continues against Biafrans. And now we have decided that we are not interested anymore in Nigeria. It is time to resurrect Biafra. You see the difference? You see how IPOB is using the word restoration. It is time to resurrect Biafra that in the 60s or 1970, it was said no victor, no vanquish. And in that time, Biafra has been actualized by Ojukwu. The leader of Biafra, Ojukwu, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, Ekpa Nnewi, Buruburu, have already actualized Biafra in the 60s. And when there is no victor, no vanquish, everybody puts Biafra behind and try to manage in Nigeria. And today, that war, that victor, no vanquish was scam. It was fraud. Nigeria government continued to fight Biafra war in their appointment. They continue to fight Biafra war in employment. They continue to fight Biafra war in military recruitment. They continue to fight Biafra war in police recruitment. They continue to fight Biafra war by not allowing any Biafrans to become president. They continue to fight Biafra war by sidelining Igbos in anything they do. They continue to fight Biafra war until this day. And we have said, or we are coming out to say, enough is enough, and it is time to resurrect Biafra that were put to rest when there were no victor, no vanquish. So it is English language. It was not IPOB or Uwazirike's doing. That the IPOB are choosing the word restoration. Have that cleared you? And probably other people who want to bring the head of IPOB and the head of Uwazirike and join it together. It is just a tool that you people are not too smart to look for something more reasonable and more convincing to begin to bring the disunity. We are not divided. We are not divided, and we can never be divided. One thing is binding us together. No matter how divergent view you see, but one thing is binding us together. And do you know what it is? It is the disintegration of Nigeria is binding us together. It is that Nigeria is not working again. Everybody has come to agree that Nigeria is not working again. And that is what is binding us together. When Biafra is actualized, it is the business of Biafrans how Biafra government is going to be run. But I promise it can never be anything close to Nigeria. Because Nigeria have no system of government, like I have said. That is number 2. Now, addressing your number 3 question, you said, is Biafra going to be a country of Igbo alone, or will it be a country of Igbos, non-Igbos in the territory? If so, how are you people, or how are you sure those people are interested in joining? That is the people you are targeting. The people you are now asking whether are we sure they are interested in joining Biafra are the people you are targeting in this your post. And I will answer you again. Like in my first answer, I have answered this question, but let me address it in a different way again. Igbos are not just Biafrans. Every Igbo man is a Biafran. Every Igbo speaking person is a Biafran. But not all Biafrans, not all the Igbo speaking person, all Igbo speaking person are Biafran, but not every Igbo speaking, not every Biafrans are Igbo speaking person. And let me put it in this way. So when I say every Igbo speaking person is a Biafran, but not all Biafrans are Igbo speaking person, means that a job person is a Biafran, means that the Ibibio person is a Biafran, means that the Delta person is a Biafran. In fact, let me use it, means that all South, you call today South, is a Biafran. They are all Biafran. So, the issue of whether they are going to, are we sure whether they are going to agree, whether they are going to be Biafra, is the issue that is left for us. Don't worry for them. You cannot be suppressing and controlling and dominating them, and at the same time, you are telling them that, oh, there is a danger. Meanwhile, your own danger is nothing to compare with any danger that is coming to them. You have killed them, you have looted their resources, you are looting their resources, you are subjecting them to degrading treatment. You are making them become criminals. You are making them become rebels. You are making them become militant. You are making them, rendering them useless. And at the same time, you are coming to say whether Igbo people. Nobody is Igbo people. We have only Biafra, and there are Igbo-speaking Biafrans. Just like you have a Jos-speaking Biafrans, you have Ibibio-speaking Biafra, Calabar-speaking Biafra, Akwa Ibom-speaking Biafra, and what have you. So, this question is irrelevant. It doesn't even, and you are presenting this thing, and those who don't know anything will be shouting, oh, this person is making sense. You don't make any sense here. Biafra comprises of different ethnic nationalities, which if you listen to my, when I started telling the history, the old Eastern region, you will learn that the major ethnic group in Biafra is Igbo-speaking Biafra, Ijo, and the Ibibio. And then, of course, you have other nationalities that made up Biafra, which you call Niger Delta today. And then you call them South-South. So, this issue cannot deter us that you people are creating an account and you begin to write nonsense. And all of a sudden, you are writing in social media. But each time we come out, you say, social media, our country, Biafra is in social media. But you cannot allow us to practice our country in social media. This social media war is the war we did not fight in the 60s. Today, the entire world is aware. People in the world, every international community, anywhere, everybody know Biafra. And everybody know the atrocities that is going on in Nigeria. The atrocities that are going on in Nigeria, people are aware. The awareness has been created, and the international community, world leaders are watching and listening, which is the reason why today you will see America placing $7 million band on Sheku. If it is not for IPOB and the other Biafra agitating group exposing the atrocities that the Boko Haram are committing, will America even know what is going on? Because the government of the terrorists in Nigeria have succeeded in suppressing all the mainstream media in Nigeria, and nobody is reporting anything. We took it upon ourselves and start to expose how the military are recruiting Boko Haram and supplying them with weapons, and begin to expose all the killings of Boko Haram to the entire world. And it was the reason you have Nigeria in traveling banned list. It was the reason you have Nigeria become the number 3 terrorist country in the world. It is the reason the Boko Haram leader now is most wanted in American list. It is the job we are doing now by exposing Nigeria. And this our exposition is the reason why the world, IMF refused to borrow Nigeria. They refused to lend Nigeria money. And what did Nigeria do? They went to China and borrowed $22.7 billion. And because the IMF, they refused to, or the World Bank refused to borrow Nigeria money. Because of what? Because of the exposition. And now they are trying to, and we are going to fight them with this China borrowing. We will also fight them. China cannot be allowed to continue to borrow money to Nigeria. We are going to fight them. And the results will be seen sooner or later. So now, I continue with the history of all these cities that made up Biafra nation. Now, I am taking you to a place called Uyo. A place called Uyo. Uyo is the state capital of Akwa Ibom. If you are in Uyo, know it today, you are a Biafran. You are a Biafran. Now, in South Nigeria, the city became the capital of the state on September 23, 1987, following the creation of Akwa Ibom. From SY, Cross River State, the University of Uyo main campus is located in Nwaniba, while the town campus and the annex campus are located along Ekpa Road. The population of Uyo, according to the 2006 census, is about 427,000 population, while urban area including Uruan is about 550,000, with Ibibio language as the tribal language. When I started, I told you the major language of this Biafra is Igbo, Ijo, and Ibibio. And when you look at all these states now, you see the language is connecting. It is either Ijo or Ibibio language, or then Igbo language. And then you have Cross River, Calabar, and all that. Now, I leave Uyo. I will now take you to where we called Uron. Uron. Uron is a coastal city in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. It is home to the Maritime Academy of Nigeria and the Uron Museum. It has about 70 square kilometer and a population of 1 million. As at 2019, the population is about 100 or 200,000 people as at 2019. And if you find yourself in this place, you are a Biafran. You see that? Akwa Ibom, Cross River, all these places you see today, they tag South. You are a Biafran, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Now, the last thing I have today is that I want to tell you a little history of the places that Fulani herdsmen are killing people in northern Nigeria today, and why that killing are happening in that particular place. I want to tell you, I want to surprise you today, and this is for Hausa people. If you have Hausa person as a friend, a real Hausa man as a friend, tag him now to this and share this video to Hausa group. If you know any Hausa person or have Hausa group from Zamfara State, tag them. If you have Hausa person or a friend or group from Katsina State, tag them. It is time I remember them. It is time I remember them. I want to tell you a shocking story now, why people are being killed in Zamfara State and why people are being killed in Katsina State. And you will begin to think, and any Hausa person that listens to this, what I'm about to say now, will begin to think positively and will begin to support Nigeria disintegration. If you know you have any Hausa person, tag him, tag her. Let us reason together and see how to end Nigeria. It is time we remember them. We are remembering the Hausa people today. Hausa people today, if you have the Hausa person, tag the person, tag the person, tag the person, tag the person. Send this video, share it to the pages, and tag them. Now, listen to this. Listen and listen very attentively. The 14th kingdom, ununified and diverse, lured the heritage of northern Nigeria into a cohesive ethno-historical system. And we have this, what we called the 7 of this kingdom, developed from Kabara legacy. Kabara legacy of the Hausa people. In the 9th century, as vibrant trading center competing with Kanem, Borno, and Mali, slowly developed in the central Sudan. coalition of kingsmen and kingdom marched, dominating the great savannah place of Hausa land. Their primary exports were later gold, cloth, salt, kola nut, animal hides, and henna. Now I tell you, as at 9th century, there were gold mining and export in the northern Nigeria. And you never heard it, you can never see it in the history when this gold mining in the north were discovered. But they have been mining that gold. And a lot of people have exploited that gold, including the people who are in government. And you have never seen it reflecting in Nigeria GDP. It is a free natural resources to the people in the north. Gold has been exported, or they have been exporting gold from the north since immemorial. Today, because of our shouting and reminding them of the gold in the north, they have come to tell you they have given 2 companies license to mine gold. And the company in 2020, for the first time in 2020, they gave 2 companies license to mine gold in the north. But all these years, they have been mining gold because it was in the north. If it was in Biafra land, the government would have opened or put a military barrack in the close to the gold mining. They would have put military barrack to intimidate Biafrans on their natural, like they are doing now. Or in Biafra land, you have about 3 naval bases. 3 naval bases in Biafra land. 3 naval bases. How many army bases you have in Biafra land? Because of the oil. But you have seaport in the north. And they don't have any naval base in the north. They tell you the north, they don't have sea. Now, let me continue. There are what we call the 7 Hausa states. 7 Hausa. I did not say 7 Hausa Fulani states. I did not say 7 Fulani states. I said 7 Hausa states. If you know any Hausa, tag him on this video. This is targeted at them. We have what we call 7 Hausa states, which include Daura. In 1806, where is Daura located? Where is Daura located? Where? Daura is Hausa state in 1806. We have a place called Kano. Kano was Hausa state from up till 1807. But today, would you call Kano state Hausa state? The answer is no. They conquered Kano. They conquered Kano state and killed Hausa. They used hostility, intimidation, harassment, and threats to kill all Hausa people and convert them. And today, they succeeded in turning Kano state and grabbing Kano state from Hausa people. Daura that you see today, will you say that Daura, where Buhari come from, that is a Hausa place? And this place I'm mentioning now, the place that have not been conquered completely, that is where you have the killings today. That is where you have the killings today. In this Daura, in Katsina state, they took over Katsina state in 1805. As I'm talking to you today, Katsina state has not completely been taken over from Hausa people. And they are now having what we call the last fight to grab Katsina state completely from Hausa people. That is where you see the bandits. In Katsina state, the reason you see that the government is sponsoring bandits in Katsina is for total taking over of Katsina State because you still have the remnant of Hausa people there. And if you doubt what I am saying, go and investigate, call your friend from Katsina State, that place that bandits are killing people who are living there. Is it Fulanis or Hausa? All the places they are killing people and abducting them in Katsina State are all called Hausa. You can't see where they say Fulani has been killed. No. And so what I'm trying to establish today is that any place you see that they are killing people in the north today is they are finishing the conquering of Usman Dan Fodio, where Usman Dan Fodio stopped. Now, let me continue. You know a place called Zazu. Zazu is in Zaria, and it is part of Kaduna. That killing is going on today. I have told you people before that what you see, the Ezakazi movement is not, why Ezakazi is in prison today is not because he is heading the Islamic movement of Nigeria. No. It is the war between Hausa and Fulani. That is the reason why Ezakazi is in prison today. It is the war between Fulani and Hausa people. And that war continues. What this Sudanese man and Buhari came to do was to make sure that they finished, because nobody, they don't have at the moment in the north, Fulanis don't have anybody who will be as nomadic as Buhari to carry out this conquering of territory. And that is why they are patching and making everything to make sure that Buhari stays. And Abba Kaere, or whatever he's called, is the one who is now distributing and commanding the killings in Nigeria. Where to grab, how to kill, and how to grab the land. Empowering them. Any place you kill Fulani, the police will come and arrest all the youth there. It is happening in Biafra land. Fulani with AK-47 that comes to kill, rape your woman and kill your children. If you retaliate and kill them, police will come and bundle all the boys in the community. And nobody has ever arrested Fulanis who were killing people up and down. Now, the place called Gobri. Gobri is also in the north, and the Fulanis entered there in 1808. Rano Biran. Now, to Zamfara. Go to the growth and the conquest of the Hausa Bakwai. The Hausa people called Bakwai resulted in the founding of additional states with the ruler tracing their lineage to a concubine of the Hausa founding father. Bayajida Tus. They are called the Banza Bakwai. Do you know what the Banza Bakwai mean in Hausa language? The Banza Bakwai means bastard. Bastard. Bastard 7. That is what Banza Bakwai mean in Hausa language. Sorry. Bastard 7. So now, what did they do? What did they do? Listen to this. The Banza Bakwai adopted many of customs and institutions of the Hausa Bakwai, but were considered unsanctioned or copycat kingdom by non-Hausa people. And who are these non-Hausa people? Fulanis. And where are these where are these Banza Bakwai located? Or who are these Banza Bakwai? They are in Zamfara State. What is going on in Zamfara State today? They are killing them. Zamfara State is the biggest place where you have the biggest presence of Hausa, one of the biggest presence of Hausa, real Hausa people. And they don't want to have anything to do with these Hausa people because they say they are bastard. that Hausa people are bastard called Banza Bakwai. Bastard 7. And that is why they are killing them in Zamfara State. Go and check the news. How many people how many people are they killing every day, every week in Zamfara State? It is called ethnic cleansing of Hausa people, of Banza Bakwai. It is called ethnic, and this is what we want Hausa people who can hear English and to begin to lecture their people in Zamfara State. It is time they begin to resist these killings, because if they keep quiet and continue to do this one Nigeria, they will all be killed, because these Fulani people regard them as Banza Bakwai, which means bastard 7. And they will stop at nothing until they wipe them out from the surface of the earth. So Hausa people need to wake up. It is time they wake up. Hausa can have their own country on their own, because Hausa people are nice people. They are not as bad as Fulanis. It is time you rise up. This is 21st century. This is not the century of Usman Dan Fodio. That is what these Fulanis don't know. We are living in 2020. This is not the time of slave trading. This is not the time of colonial master. This is not the time that Usman Dan Fodio conquered the North. This is 21st century. We are living in global village. And there are international laws that were not there during the time of Usman Dan Fodio that are now today. And every country must respect that law. Otherwise, you will be ready to face some music from the higher place. So Hausa people should now get the courage. If you are from in Zamfara State as an Hausa person, today, know this history, because this history, they will never tell you the reason why they are killing you. They are killing you because they regard you as Banza Bakwai, which means you are a bastard, bastard 7, and that is why they are killing you and make sure they wipe you out. Now, another part of this Banza Bakwai is called, the kingdom of Banza Bakwai is called Kebbi. I don't need to tell you what is going on in Kebbi State today. These places I'm mentioning now is where the war is happening, where the bandits are in operational, where the bandits are killing on daily basis. Kebbi, today called Kebbi State, they are killing every day. And they are killing you Hausa people in Kebbi because they regard that you are Banza Bakwai. You are a bastard according to Fulani people. Now, another place called Yauri, also called as Yauri, is where you have Hausa people, and today Fulanis are taking over the place. Another place is called Gwari, also called Gwari land. All these places are what Fulani regard as Banza Bakwai people, Hausa people. Call Hausa, real Hausa people who are good. They also have a place called Guararafa, Yajukun State. Guararafa is also a place where Banza Bakwai are living, and they regard you as bastard 7. These places I am mentioning now. You have a place called Nupe, of the Nupe people. Fulanis are taking over your land. And then the biggest one is the one called Ilorin, which everybody know the history of Ilorin. Ilorin, a conglomeration of Yoruba, Hausa, Nupe, Fulani, Kanuri, Barba, and Malian tribes. Even the Malian tribes. That is why Kwara State is in a mess. Because these are the places that Fulanis have conquered and do everything to become what it is today. And it is only in Kwara that you don't have that kind of killing that you have in Zamfara and Kebbi and other places. Because they have succeeded in taking over Kwara State. So there is no need to start to fight war there. And of course, I have some time ago read to you the history of the Usman Danfodio and what Usman Danfodio did. And even this one called Ahmed Bello. What he did in the First Republic as the premier of the Northern region. So, Hausa people, it is time. If you are in Zamfara, if you are in Katsina, if you are in Kebbi, it is time you pick up arms to defend yourself. Don't wait for the government, because the government is the government of Fulanis that are calling you Banza Bakwai, which means you are a bastard this seven kingdom, a bastard seven kingdom, and they are making sure they are having cleaning your ethnic. It is called ethnic cleansing. That is why they are killing you in those places I'm mentioning now. And when you look at this history, you find out that all these places that have this kingdom called Banza Bakwai Kingdom are the place today that bandits are very, very active and killing people and abducting them on daily basis because they want to wipe you from the face of the earth. And then the Igbo governors, before I go, Igbo governors, like you have seen, the time has come that everybody will face the music. If you think that you are a governor in Igbo land, in Biafra land, and for that reason you cannot listen to the cry of people on security issues, especially now that the Boko Harams are sending people to Biafra land to start killing. If you think you can't listen to the cry of people, believe me, any place you are, all the governors in Eastern Nigeria, if you cannot listen to the cry of your people to join hands to South governors and institute a security outfit, your state will be ungovernable to you. That is what Biafra, you people have pushed Biafrans to the wall. You have pushed us to the wall. If people if this Fulani continue to kill people in Biafra land, believe me, we are telling you from today, from this March 2020, your various states will be ungovernable to you. It is not going to be business as usual. Your various states will be ungovernable as the life of people of your state are not being protected and they are being killed. The government you govern it is going to be ungovernable to you. It is not a promise, it is a assurance that the Biafrans are giving you, all the governors. It is time you begin to liaise and have a synergy with the people of South, because these are one that is not in geography today. You don't have anything called South. It is time you begin consultation with all these South governors and begin to have a regional security outfit. Because it is not like Zamfara, or it is not like the Middle Belt and the Northwest, East and Northwest. We are totally different. When you look at the map, you find out that it is indivisible. The map of South and Southeast, according to how they call it, is indivisible map. And you don't have anything like South in geography. That's okay. Why don't they have a North-South? Because it is part. Why they should have North-South, Southwest, and the West-South or whatever. And when it comes to Biafra, it is only Biafra that they have South. Because they think they will succeed in dividing us. They cannot divide us. And if you allow yourself to be used as a tool for division in Biafra land, we will show you where you belong when the time comes. And the time is fast coming, approaching. It is better you retract now and support Biafra freedom. If you support one Nigeria, you are supporting terrorists, you are supporting terrorism, you are aiding terrorism. If you are still supporting one Nigeria, paying your tax in one Nigeria, your tax is being used to sponsor terrorists, you are also financing terrorism. You are financing terrorist country. It is time you begin to support Biafra referendum, Biafra freedom, Nigeria disintegration. So that even if anything happens to you, you know that you have tried and you did not die for nothing. Today, Nigeria, if you die as a Nigerian fighting for one Nigeria, you die for nothing. If you doubt me, go ask all the people, all the military men, all the soldiers that have died in Sambisa for it. They die like chicken, they die like animal. In fact, animal is even more useful because when in Nigeria, if you see animal that die, you will go and take it and make it food. Go to Babbage. When one big whale died in Babbage in the ocean, the sea bring it to Lagos. People were running and were butchering the whales and all that. You go to Warri, when whale died there, people were butchering it and butchering it. It becomes useful to them. But as a Nigerian military, if you die fighting for Nigeria army, they will come and pick your corpse. Where after many days because they will be afraid of going there to pick your corpse. They don't know whether Boko Haram is there or not. After many days, when the sun must have hammered your body, your corpse, they will pick you and bury you in secret. And then it will take them another 1 year or 2 years before they will contact your family. But then if you are married and you have children, your wife must have borrowed money from all your neighbors and are thinking that you are alive, that you will come to pay their debt. And by the time they will know that you are dead, you have rendered your family useless and you bring problem upon your extended families and all that. So if you die for Nigeria, you die for nothing. And they are not going to... The other day, you see the widows of soldiers protesting in Abuja. It is only protest. Nobody will listen to them. Nobody will do anything to them. That is the end. If you die for Nigeria, you die for nothing. If they post you to Northeast, resign. Go back to Biafra and go into farming and wait for Biafra to come. You will be useful. And when you die fighting for Biafra, Biafra will remember you. You will be honored. Your family will be honored. But in Nigeria, fight for Nigeria and you die for nothing. Thank you for watching me and watch you tomorrow. Remember, on the 20th of June 2020, the 1 million march for freedom of Biafra. This 1 million march is not only for Biafrans, it's for freedom, for people who love freedom, for Yorubas, for any part of Nigeria you come from, for Middle Belt. If you love freedom, if you are tired of what is happening in Nigeria, come out, bring your family in Washington, D.C. It is going to be the biggest movement so far. If you are in America and you are a Nigerian and you don't like what is going on in Nigeria today, come out and show your solidarity. If you are anywhere you coming from, if you are an African and you reside in the United States, come out to support the Biafra in solidarity that the killings of Christians in Nigeria should stop and the killings of Nigeria should end, Christian Nigerians in Nigeria should end. If you are an African, come out and march with Biafrans in Washington, D.C. on the 20th of June 2020. It doesn't matter whether you belong to any agitating group. It doesn't matter whether you belong to IPOB or not. It doesn't matter whether you are a Niger Lower Congress member. It doesn't matter whether you are a Mossad member. If you know that you love freedom, if you know that you are tired of this thing that is going on in Nigeria by Fulani and terrorists, come out with your family and march with us. We will all be live in Washington, D.C. Thank you and have a wonderful night. And we pray that your week will be successful this coming week. Also, watch out and always watch your surrounding and be security conscious if you are in Biafra land. Thank you. Good night.